How's it going, everyone? Good to see you all. Hello. Hello.
What's up,
Hello.
everybody?
Hello.
What's up?
Hello. Hello. That's my British
Hello.
accent.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Oh my
Hello.
God, it's so bad.
No, wow, what GT's British accent? Come on,
I wish
Mash.
he would just stop trying to do.
This
the
is the
British accent.
shit I have to take behind the
If
scenes,
GT would
guys.
just stop trying to do the British accent, everything would be fine.
I literally
I think
get
it's
bullied
perfect.
all
You
the
could just
time.
tell he's just trying. He's just over trying too hard to just sound like he's British.
I'm actually
He's
Australian.
He's really from Jersey.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Jersey. I've never heard of that.
Who isn't from Jersey these days?
New
I don't
Jersey.
know, why'd you get a
Jersey,
bunch of Americans, man? You got 6 Americans on your squad.
I don't know, man. There's just so many of you. Do you know
Because
what I
we're
mean?
just
yeah,
awesome,
for
I
sure.
guess. I
There's
don't
not.
know.
There's not that many British people.
Running out of British people.
Yeah, yeah. They're all
There's
tired.
not that many.
There's just not enough of them to bring on here. You know, I'm like, I need some expendables. I'm like, we got loads of Americans. That'll be fine.
Wait a second. We're not expendable. We're the cream of the crop, baby.
Oh, don't get all patriotic or whatever. Don't do that. How is everyone in the chat? I've seen a lot of. We were talking about actually Assassin's Creed. I've seen a lot of people talking about Assassin's Creed, and let's get into doing some introductions. I never introduced myself. I keep getting that pointed out on, especially on the audio. My name's GT from Gamertag VR. Welcome to episode 24. I think that could be bullshit. Actually, I don't know what it is. Next up, we've got Sadless Bradley. How you doing, dude?
I'm tired, but I'm alive. I'm good. I'm ready to talk about things. Let's go.
Nice, man. Nice. I love the facial hair.
Thanks. I don't know how long it's gonna last.
Is it-
I get.
It's not Movember. It's not like a.
Oh no. I can't stand things on my neck. I have to shave
You're not
it
going to
off.
do this? Come on.
I can't
I
do
wanna
it.
that.
Great with a root beard. I
I
want to see
feel like
Brad.
bugs
would
are
be awesome.
crawling on me when it gets to a certain length.
It does
and
happen. Yeah, that's how
It
it
does.
feels. Yeah.
It for like a week, right, GT? And then it
Yeah, I
kinda
mean,
goes away.
I think the first ever time's the worst. Like, it just never felt right, and then eventually it just passes. I don't know whether the hair goes softer. I don't know. Something changes though. So, I think you should try it, Brad. I think you should grow that mustache over your top lip.
I don't know. It's like I already don't take care of my hair very well. I don't know if I can take care of a beard too. You know.
I think you look good, man. I think you look like one of the
It does
Three
look good.
Musketeers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have got Wes and Root from Virtual Strangers. How you doing, boys?
Good, man. Good. We just wrapped up, I guess, the regular season for us. Like, we're done now for the year, with the exception of preparations for what will undoubtedly be the most epic VR podcast of all time, the 2023 show.
Whoop.
And, but other than the big titles we have left, which we do still have a few big ones coming that we're going to cover. But we're done with our schedule now. We're on vacation. So pretty good.
That's awesome, man. That's all. It's weird. I came back from being on vacation, and even though I was gone for 9 days, I think 5 of those was just me trying to drop it out of like high gear to actually enjoy the holiday. And then I was fucking
Right.
thrown back into it with Assassin's Creed, Arizona Sunshine 2. I had a weird, like, inspirational dream of doing a tier list, and then something else happened, and then suddenly it was 7 days later, and I was like, I am absolutely fucked.
it goes.
I feel ruined. I'm feeling a bit better though. I had a weekend off and I had some pudding with custard, and it made me feel good. Next up, we have got custard. What?
Nice.
You got?
Yum.
Do you have it? You have hot custard?
No. Hot custard?
No.
Who
who loves hot
doesn't love
custard?
hot custard? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So talk to me about custard, man. What is custard in America? Like, you must have
I
Depends
fucking
on
love
who you're
custard.
asking.
I think that's like a pudding, right? Like, but cold. I've never seen it hot.
pudding.
It's like
pudding.
thick. Yeah, it's like a
Right?
thick
Like
pudding.
pudding? Yeah.
Pudding.
You know who loves thick custard pudding?
My mom.
She does.
You know who loves
What's probably-
Jello pudding?
What's wrong with her liking a thick pudding? That's weird. I don't know what we're talking about this. Next up, we have got Alex and Skiva from Between Realities. How you doing, boys?
Yo, what's
Yo.
up, Skiva?
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, I
Doesn't
miss
come
you,
with
man.
all of you.
Father
I know, I
and
miss
son
you, man.
reunited again
We used
live.
to hang out every Friday.
I
You
You
know?
guys
know.
are right next to each other in the
I don't
ship.
like
What are you
these-
talking
I
about?
don't like these season breaks. I know. I just picked him up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
that's
just
right.
Took the ship over. You know.
Do
pulled
you
him
feel
up.
like you're the dad taxi sometimes, Skeever? Like picking him up,
Yeah,
dropping him
yeah,
off.
it's annoying. I keep trying to get Alex to get his license, and he just won't do it. He said
No.
the international flight thing is just too hard.
Nah. I'm the talent.
Interdimensional.
Okay. I don't drive. I don't do stuff. Okay.
I'm the talent.
Hey, by the way, I gotta do the shout out here. Rezel dropping 50 memberships in the
Oh,
chat. It is literally a green fire in the chat right now. I'm just naming.
Brad,
How
how
many
do you
did
get
Brad
30
get?
of them? You got 30 of them. I don't
I
understand.
got 0. I dodged them all. Get wrecked.
What's crazy is I was watching for Don and he's not in there. So like
I don't know what
love it.
happened. I'm
We
worried.
need
something-
another 50. Somebody needs
Mash
to donate
chased him
another
off.
50.
I'm worried he had a fatal
Oh.
accident.
Let's
Oh,
all
God.
keep doing 50 until I get one of these
Yes.
things. I've always wanted one.
Dude, let's just keep rolling.
I mean,
We just need to get Russell to do another 50, see what happens.
we've got 107
Come on,
people
dude, do
watching.
another 50.
Like,
Dude,
you should
come
get
on,
one.
dude, do another 50. It's only 50. Come on.
It's only 50. That's right.
Come on,
Oh
what's
my
50
God.
more?
Thank
my
you
God.
ever
No,
so
but
much,
seriously,
Rezel.
yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, we
That's
appreciate
crazy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And last but definitely not least is Eric Masher from Q2CVR Gamer. How you doing, bro?
Good. What's going on, guys? Good to be back. Feels weird being we were gone for a little while, but yeah, it feels good to be
And we
back.
got the whole
Yeah.
squad.
We got the whole
Yeah.
squad, but today is a special day. It is Mash's 65th birthday.
Oh yes, happy birthday!
And we need
it's his AARP birthday.
Damn, I look good for 65.
he's retiring. He's retiring on the show. This is the last show.
Oh my god!
And
Damn,
tell
that's
Brad,
brutal.
Brad, tell him I'm like a young man in the Florida. Like I'm like the youngest person.
Yeah.
Ray, sad news, Bradley. Rezel just gave you in his next 50.
Oh,
he did
man.
just gift.
Oh,
I
Bradley
knew
got
he was
one.
gonna
He
do it.
did get you, Sam.
Bradley got
I
one.
knew he was gonna do it. I almost stopped you guys from
Come
pushing that, and I knew he was gonna do it. Rezel,
on,
you are a
time.
legend, bro.
Bro, right,
Come
listen,
on.
guys, no one else do that anyway, because I don't think the system will ever manage it. There's just not enough people on the channel.
It'll
No,
break
it'll
YouTube.
start pulling. It'll start pulling randoms. Yes.
Full
Thank
Hey,
you.
random.
remember.
Oh,
Fair
dude,
enough.
thank
I
you
love
ever so
Mapper.
much. What the hell?
Don's gonna get an
Yeah.
email.
Give me one of
letting
those
him
sweet
know.
Do
sweet
any
he's,
of us,
uh,
any of us besides Brad have a membership? I don't.
I
think
do not. I don't even know if I'm
No.
set up right. I tried to
I
set
don't
it up
think I
right.
am.
and
Just watching
Yeah.
all of them getting gifted. Thank you ever
A
so
spry
much.
guy. I
Give
see
me
all
that
so many.
membership. Let's go.
There's probably
Nice.
people in the chat thinking, I'm not even going to type today because I'm just like chilling and watching, and suddenly they just get pinged.
And
Yeah,
they're getting
no. What the fuck,
exposed.
Rezel? Why did you break the chat, bro?
Where's
Come
Don?
on.
Yeah.
Don. I'm gonna try and at Don, see if he's like lurking in the chat.
Can you
He's out there.
You
He's
probably
out
could
there.
add
I know
Add
he
his
is.
name? No, I don't see him. He's not.
He's never coming back, man.
He's
He
never
feels
coming
he's
back.
betrayed by you, Mash.
He betrayed. I made him famous. The fuck you talking about?
I made
Yeah,
him
Nobody would've fucking-
famous, and I can
nobody
put
would've
him
the
back.
problem.
I
again
can
if
put him back to where he came from.
That's the problem, Eric. How
immortalized
does he?
it.
How does he go back to normal after that? Like you
He
put him
doesn't
up
have to.
here.
He's fucking done. He
Do
doesn't
you know
have
what
to
it
go
is?
back to
He
normal.
reached the heights, man, and he just can't get that sweet feeling again. The whole show was about half an hour was completely about him.
And here we are,
That's
like
true.
weeks later.
Still talking about him.
Months.
Yes. Months.
Months? Jeez.
Months.
Wow.
Triangulator says, you get a car, you get a car. Oh, guys, thank you ever so much. Thank you for being here as well. Apologies for the lack of consistency. It is completely my fault. I've been really trying to work very hard behind the scenes, and yeah, I think I just burnt out a little bit, and then two other things happened that basically just prevented us from doing the show. I think we was going to go Wednesday, and then we was going to go Friday, and when it got to Friday, you could just tell everyone was like, yeah, I just want to enjoy the weekend. so we were like, I tell you what, let's move it around to Monday.
I think
I
it went
mean-
Wednesday, then Thursday, then Friday, didn't it?
And, I mean,
don't
you know,
know.
you can
Every
speak
day.
for
Skipped over
yourself.
Thursday. It skipped over Thursday. Like literally
Oh,
from the time we decided not to go on Monday, I'm like, other than Monday, I can do Thursday. So it was like well, let's do Tuesday. Let's do Wednesday. And I'm like, all right, now I'll be able to actually do it. And they're like, let's do Friday. And I'm like, fuck. Okay.
And none of
Meanwhile,
it
every
happened.
single day of the week, I'm standing by my camera. I got my microphone and my headphones, and I'm ready to go. And then I get the message,
Oh,
"Oh, I guess I'm not doing this today."
he's so lovely, bless him.
No,
I feel
Sorry,
so
Alex.
bad
crying
now.
3 times.
Skeever, can you just put your arm around him quickly, make him feel good?
Yeah, come on, let's do this.
Yeah,
You guys are the same
absolutely.
ship.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Posers. Oh yeah.
Alex is like, I don't think so, man. He's a little upset.
Broke-
Maybe
Don't,
later.
don't
Broke-
touch me, dude.
Broke the illusion. Thank Rizzo. Just last time, thank you ever so much.
Seriously,
mate.
yeah, dude.
That's
you rock.
crazy, man. You are awesome.
Yeah,
Can I
thanks,
call,
dude.
can I
Appreciate
call
you.
for another 50?
Well, you can
No,
call
are you
for him, but
kidding
Rezo's already said, sorry, I have no more gifts to give,
Rizzo's
and I don't blame
He's
you.
currently
Well, it could be
remortgaging
another
his house.
person out there. It might not be Rezo.
Oh,
maybe
that's
it's somebody
true.
else who
That's
wants to
true.
drop
Like,
in.
why is everybody else sitting on their 50 gifted
Yeah,
subs?
right?
What the hell?
No, I want to see if one of us get picked up in here.
That's true.
I think Brad should give back because he's
Exactly,
gotten
Brad, give
so
100.
many. He should be
Oh.
giving them back.
He's clearly
you know?
grown that facial hair for OnlyFans. Come on, dude. Cough up. the
Oh
cash.
god.
Yeah, but he's making millions in his OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mm.
saying. I
I'm
think
a
we should,
top tier subscriber.
I want all 2,500 subscribers to be a member by the end of the week.
I'm there for the Brad Chan content personally.
Oh boy.
That's the good stuff.
Mm,
Yes.
Yeah. Wonder what outfits he wears.
It's not about the outfits. It's about
I'm all about the go-to, the classic maid outfit.
Yeah,
Touching
the
grass.
classic maid outfit. Yeah.
Honestly, if I made like an actual profit on my YouTube channel, I probably would just only buy Avatar clothes all the time. Like no joke. I would commission the finest stuff for Brad Chan. That's all I would buy.
Brad
food.
Chan merch.
Oh my god. Only
There
Brad.
there you go.
Oh,
Dude, I have
Mhm.
Brad Chan merch. I've got
Do
the
you
shirt
really?
with Brad Chan on it. Yeah.
Really?
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was Brad Chan merch.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh, there's 5 of the 50 from Snow Toad.
Snow Toad,
Oh,
thank you ever
love
so
Snow
much.
Toad.
People are going to be
Yes.
panicking. They're going to be like, "What is this? What is this you've tied me
I
into?"
didn't- We still
Christmas
didn't get
season. Black
Listen,
Friday.
it. Master's still not on there.
I know.
good thing is, guys,
None
with
of us.
memberships,
Actually,
you do not have to keep them going. It's much appreciated if you do. I think they're like 99 cents. I think that it is or something. But thank you ever so much. Don't worry about it. It just it'll just die if you don't want to do anything with it. So you're not getting tied into anything. But thank you ever so much because a couple of people do worry. They were like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "It's not. It is just a gift." And it makes you look good. And also, I think eventually they change color and stuff, don't they? The names and
Yeah, like, well,
Things.
it depends how you have them set up, but I know on Between Realities, like, there's like tiers. It's like if you've been a member for 6 months or something, it's silver, and a year, it's gold or something like that.
Ooh,
Is that right,
platinum.
Skiva?
Prestige.
yeah. It'd be
Yeah.
cool if they added like stuff like sparkles. Anyway, listen, right. Let's start talking about VR. Right. Assassin's Creed has got to be probably the biggest bit of news VR has had in quite some time in terms of gaming. Brad, have you played it?
I played a bit. Yeah.
Have you? Is that why you grew the moustache? The
After you
Renaissance.
played it,
No,
you
I
had
swear to
bro.
God, I
Cosplayer.
see people pointing out that I look like something from the game, but no, that's purely accidental.
Talk to me, son. What do you reckon?
I played it a couple times. I don't know how far I am. I don't think I'm that far, like maybe a couple hours in. It's good. Like the mechanics are all really good. They feel good. They are clearly made by people that know what they're doing in VR.
Surprised you said that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I really think they did a pretty good job. My only biggest complaint about it is I wish it wasn't reprojected. And
Can you see
That's-
reprojection in there? Like I don't see it, and I
So-
don't think most people can.
I can sense it not really just from just the or like okay, it doesn't make me sick. Let me start with that. Like PSVR 2, I made a big deal about the reprojection and the
I do
persistence
think
making me sick.
PSVR 2 reprojection's far worse than this.
Yes.
It is way worse.
Yeah,
Yes. But what I've noticed so this is the first application that's released that relies completely on Meta's application Space Warp, which they announced like a couple years ago. So this is the first one, and basing the whole game around it, I haven't really noticed anything that makes me feel uncomfortable. But things that make me disappointed, or things I notice, is I feel there's a lot of micro stutter that makes me miss
Yes.
inputs. Like for example, there's parts in the game where you have to like parkour and then swing on something like a bar to continue to the next parkour spot. I feel like with that micro stutter, I end up missing what I feel like I'm completely hitting or should be hitting perfectly, and it just makes it feel a lot less fluid. But everything else, it's I think it's a really well done VR game.
What do you
Yes.
think? What did you
Yeah.
think of the visuals for a standalone?
I
Did you
think the
play on
visuals.
Quest 2 or Quest 3? Quest 3, obviously.
I was doing on Quest 3,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, the visuals feel like playing PC VR on a 970 back in 2016, which I prefer. I think that's fine, right? I think that's way better than what we've had for a lot of games up until now on standalone. It's acceptable. There's some things I wish would be better. Actually, I don't really care much about the visuals as much. The one thing I wish that if I can throw compute at this game more than anything, I wish they had more CPU power to make the AI a lot more interesting. Because my favorite part about what I played in the game was trying to interact with all the people in the towns and like kind
Yeah.
of push them over and stuff. And once you like do it for like 20 minutes, you're like, okay, they're all kind of reacting the same way.
Did
I
you
wish it was like way
They
more
all run
fleshed.
away scared,
Did
right?
you follow anyone? Did you follow them around the block and stuff?
Yeah, like chase them after I push them, they try to run away. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just kept running after them, and
Eventually, they just stop, don't they? And just like look
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're tired, and then nothing happens.
right, because I think this is like there's not been many games, right, that come out that has like a bunch of AI and like an open world, right, that you can interact with.
Definitely
this
not on
way.
Quest.
Yeah, so I felt that was actually the most interesting thing about a VR game, is just interacting with these things. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I just wish they again had more
Yeah.
CPU power, just make them way smarter, more interesting, a lot more stuff. But yeah,
I've got
that's how it feels.
I've got a challenge for you though. I need you to try Hubris on Quest 3, because the reprojection in that game. So like I heard it in Wes's voice. He was basically, he didn't kind of believe that you could see reprojection, because I can't really see it. I can see frame stutters, what you're saying, but I've seen reprojection in Hubris, and it was like my arms were covered in a clear mesh
Yeah.
constantly, and that to me was really bad. Like,
Mhm.
and not many people bring it up. I don't know why. Maybe some people are different what they see and stuff, but for me, I was like, dude, my arms do not look right in this game, and it was an instant like immersion killer for me. So yeah, I'd like you to try that as well, because obviously I find it quite an interesting thing, and obviously to get around the limitations that the hardware has, obviously stuff like this is important. So yeah,
Brad, so the micro stutters are the big no-no for me too. It's the one like really egregious thing about the game, not just graphically or how it runs, period. That's the one thing that really just constantly annoys me in there. People are saying that you can optimize your way out of that using backdoor tools like the Quest Games optimizer, or I would assume you could go into side quest and kind of unlock the CPU, GPU. Have you tried any of that, or have you even cared enough to think about doing any of that stuff?
I honestly haven't cared about it. So like I really see Quest as like a console, and like
yeah.
I think it's crazy I need to buy a $10 tool for a game to maybe not stutter. So yeah.
To me, the micro stutter is super negligible. Like, and I don't know why, but it seems to get better the farther along in the game. It seems like the first time you kind of render everything in, it seems like it's way worse, and then it kind of goes away. I don't know if it's something for me where I don't notice it as much, but it feels like it almost goes away as I get going into the game. And then two, I think we're being extremely critical of a game that looks absolutely beautiful on a mobile chipset, where most of the games to me look like mobile phone games. And now we have a full-blown game that absolutely feels like a full-blown game with huge amounts of NPCs that you can interact with and huge set pieces. This is a game that looks awesome outside as much as it does inside. We've seen some of the best looking games on the Quest Red Matter 2, some of these other games, but it's all indoor environments. This game is as much outdoor as it is indoor, and they're huge environments. And they're doing some things in this game that we haven't seen a standalone headset do before. So there are issues with this game, but they're so minor that I don't want to pick on them. Like I really want to leave them alone and just enjoy what the fuck the game is, which is an amazing feat on a
I wouldn't
standalone.
consider a micro stutter a minor thing, even though you're not seeing it very
Nobody's
much.
seeing it. There's
Well, clearly Brad is. Clearly,
yeah, but there is
Wes
nobody
is.
complaining about a micro stutter, and it doesn't affect the game in any way. Go look at the reviews. Yeah, how many people are complaining about micro stutter in the reviews? Almost nobody. It's so little. Again,
you're right about that. The comment I'm seeing the most in all these 5-star reviews is, please click my referral link and get $10 off.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest issue when there was a lot of
one
1-star reviews of this game out there, it was because people had an issue with, getting the climbing right, because there was a small issue with some people not being able to get the height calibration right, or the hand calibration right.
Yeah.
That seems to be one of the biggest
user error, right?
But I mean, again, I think we tend to like try and pick apart every game because that's what we do. And this game, I don't think deserves to be picked apart. Like, I think we need to like really look at what is here and what we have.
It's exactly what I said in my review, Mash, at the end of it. Like I mentioned, there was some jank, there was some jitters, and it was worse for me as well because I was trying to record at 60 FPS as well, which when I started messing around, the more I messed around with settings, the worse the game got. So I think they've optimized it very well, and you can throw the balance off. I tried all sorts of shit, man. I put the resolution right down. I locked CPU, GPU, increased foveated rendering, and the game would look like shit, but the recording would look good. You go to press record and it just goes bleh. It was like, nah, man, it ain't working. I was thinking, fucking hell, like this game, they've obviously like done quite well with it. But I think
noticed
it looks fantastic, man. I think it looks really good. That game,
I noticed the resolution dropping back when I was casting it to try to record it as well. It wasn't like major game breaking or anything, but it definitely looks better when you're not trying to make content from it.
Dude, yeah, I recorded pretty much the whole game, but a lot of it I went to play again because of, obviously, it's pushing the limits. It's obviously doing a lot of fucking hard work. But yeah, what's the first time the ladies level? Is that Rome? Is it Greece?
It's I think they're talking a lot in the story about Athens, but you're not in Athens. You're in some other place.
Somewhere else. Yeah. When you first enter that level, how anyone, regardless of what you've seen in VR, cannot be impressed by that. Like,
yeah, agree.
I don't know, man. I thought it was
the environments get absolutely amazing, and then like everything going on in these, they're huge. These environments, they do use some definite tricks in here to help with some of the draw distance, and you do have that hazy cloudy effect as the farther you get out. But man, everything that's there looks so good. I don't want to pick on it. I really don't like, and I trust me, I pick on games all the time. I kill, like, if the game has something for me to kill, I'm gonna try and kill it. Like, I'm not a hype machine for games. If there's problems, I'll tell you the problems. And I did have problems. I came out on my podcast the day the game launched and said, guys, I can't climb. Like, I literally can't climb. I've tried to play this game for hours and I can't climb. You know what I mean? But I still had a good time in there. And then when I went back and fixed it, I had a great time in there. And I've been back several times since, and I'm going to finish this game. So I just don't want to kill a game like that doesn't.
Well, nobody's killing it. Like, people were just pointing out.
People are saying microstutters, like the problem with microstutters. Microstutters are so minor that if there was issues with a lot of people getting sick out there, we'd see these things.
Well,
I see no issues with microstutters. I've played through most of the, like, 3, 4, 5 hours of this game. And again, the microstutters they're so minor that I don't even want to bring them up. Like, I don't want to scare people away from this game because they think they're going to get sick because of microstutters, because that's not here. It's not happening.
Well, Brad says that he's on the PlayStation VR 2, it makes him sick. He's literally saying that this isn't making him sick. Hard to get says mostly everybody's complaining about it, but some care and some don't. And I think that would be more accurate. It's happening. It's
Overwhelmingly, people are saying this. It is one of the best games I've ever played, and the micro stutters are not an issue. You would
well.
have
What
people
I'm
that
saying
they
is,
fix the game.
Ubisoft, please fix the micro stutters so that people can enjoy everything about this game, because it exists. I don't want to gloss over that. I don't want to give it anything a pass. I will say I don't like the game for me as far as gameplay wise, but I still give it a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. It's a phenomenal game. Everybody should buy it. If you love, stealth games, if you love melee games, even if you don't, you want to give it a try, this game is AAA level. I'm just hoping that Ubisoft gets rid of whatever's happening for some people to make it uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Because that
agree.
sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks to buy a game and feel like it's not performing right, even
Yeah.
though for you it's performing really well.
Yeah, I'm sure they're
So-
going to do some updates, man. I'm sure, because some of the things I read, I kind of question: are they playing the same game I am? You know?
Let me ask you this, because I never cared to try this on Quest 2. Like, I've only played it on Quest 3, and I only will ever play it on Quest 3. Has anyone tested it here on Quest 2 to see what the differences are, if there are any?
I haven't yet.
No, not
I
at all.
haven't either.
No.
It's dead. It's a dead headset. 1 month in, and we're all done with it.
Phil
Yeah.
Yarn, have you noticed any? He said he's been playing it on Quest 2. Have you noticed microstars? I'm like you, Mash. I'm not fighting with saying, hey, I'm seeing it. I didn't see it on the Quest Pro, and I thought maybe it was a RAM thing. Maybe I just wasn't as sensitive. I'm just saying that I would love it to be fixed for the people that are having an issue.
I mean, face it, most of the problems you're probably seeing are from Quest 2 users anyway, because that'd be the majority of users, surely.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. And again, I'm not saying that the micro stutters are a game breaker. But what I'm saying is that's the only issue with it that I consistently
Yeah, but
noticed.
the problem is we bitched about it for the last 15 minutes. That's the
I mentioned it one time.
No,
You went on about it for
listen
15
to me.
minutes.
We have talked about all we've talked about this game so far is that this problem with micro stutter. That's all we've talked about this whole time. Like,
yeah,
I hate when we get jaded about this. We do. We get jaded all the time.
Yeah.
Like, again, we're picking apart a game that doesn't deserve the pick. There's so much good here that I don't want to pick it apart. Like, it's like I don't even want to. Like, again, there micro stutter. Yeah, but it's so little. Like, nobody is getting sick in this game. You know how many people got sick in with PlayStation VR 2? You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's not happening here. You know what I mean? This game is freaking great. What else should we should
Agreed.
go now talking about how did they make this game on a standalone headset? And 10-15 minutes we've been talking about micro stutter issues that almost nobody's having.
I hope they fix it.
The troll.
I got
The
it.
troll.
I get it. You know.
Oh, by the way,
But then we're gonna try and figure out how we can say Ghostbusters is great. Get the fuck out of here with this stuff.
no one's
Nobody
going to
said
say
that either.
Ghostbusters is great. Yeah. And I don't think anyone, I think there's a mixture of things here. It's so weird that for me personally, when you want to see VR succeed and when you've got something which is, I think they've done a fantastic job with it, similar to what we got with Resident Evil 4, actually a VR version of a game. I don't think this is as good for me as Resident Evil 4 in some ways, but I think that's because the game itself and the series means more to me, Resident Evil. But either way, Assassin's Creed for me is if you own a Quest, is a must buy. Like, I think it's a must buy title. And thank you for letting me know about the mic, guys.
AAAs,
by the way.
right? It's the most AAA game that's out there for the Quest.
Yeah, it's the best game we've seen come on standalone platform in probably a year and a half or more, or like maybe ever. This might be the Quest GOAT. You know, time will tell. I don't like saying stuff like that for a game that came out last week, but it seems like it very well could be. Like, this is an amazing achievement for standalone VR, and it does mark kind of a new benchmark now. It's kind of like Asgard's effect back in the day, but now it's the Assassin's effect.
Yeah.
Do you agree with this assessment, Skiva?
Honestly, I don't know, because I've been trying to get a review key for weeks, and
I don't have one either.
What?
Neither one of us have played the game.
I didn't get a review key.
We had to
I just-
buy it.
Yeah, we had to buy it.
Come on, just go.
You guys all bought it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got a review
Yeah.
key.
Did you really?
One guy who
Of
doesn't
course
play
he
any games
did.
was
He's
like, yeah, I got
Brad,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
he
There,
got it.
I usually don't. I was shocked. I don't know. It's weird.
That's so funny. Yeah, I have not bought it and I have not gotten a key, so I haven't played the game. And with your permission, I will say what I have been doing. And I
Hold on.
cannot
You
stop-
haven't told me what it is. What is it?
Oh my god. Yeah.
What permission do you need? What you
Is
do?
it family
permission
friendly?
to switch the topic, basically.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Yeah, because I cannot stay out of my headset. In fact, I'm killing my Quest, which, by the way, I've now realized how terrible the battery is on the Quest 3. But I've been killing my Quest 3 battery almost daily playing Demio battles.
Oh, there you go.
I am
There you
addicted
go.
to it.
So good.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
very good game.
wow.
It's a very
Wait,
good
what-
game.
Stars.
what game?
Super
It's
good.
terrible.
Demio
I'm just
battles.
kidding.
Oh.
Yeah. Now,
Demio
anybody
battles
who
is
knows
wicked.
me, anybody who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of Demio, and
Yeah.
I think Demio battles is far, far beyond regular Demio in terms of just like a
Wow.
good ass game. Because
Wow.
regular Demio
That's
is kind of
crazy,
like
right?
it's kind of like a, I don't know, like an adventure that I can take occasionally with some friends. Like it's a campaign and there's this like depth to it, like it takes me, 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get through one. And by the time I've done it, I'm like, cool. That was a good, Rat King or whatever. And I kind of walk away from it. But Demio Battles has that like one more game thing. To it, or it's like you play a game and as soon as it ends, you're like, okay, one more game because now I'll just try a different hero or maybe I'll get different monsters when I get to the selection point, and like I can't stop playing. I absolutely love it.
I'm glad you're saying this, Alex, because Radio Runt's been in our community is really negative on it, and he's as
the
big
only
into
one
the
now.
game. Yeah, but he's as big into the game as you are, and so now I'm hearing a completely flipped. I mean, 100% different perspective.
What's he negative about though?
He just says that the classes are unbalanced. This is literally what he said when it came down to the balance class. He said wizard trumps all, and he said so like there's no reason to play anything else, but he's very negative.
It just
on
means
it.
he's not good at anything but the wizard. Because
I mean,
he said Demio Battles is the biggest disappointment.
Do you know all I can say is, dude, like when me and
incorrect statement.
Yeah,
it's insane.
When me and Beardo played, dude, it was fantastic. Like proper, like edgy a seat gameplay. Trying to outsmart each other. I actually kind of lied to. Well, he told me what he thought about a situation that was happening, which it wasn't happening, and I just went along with it. Because he sort of made up that I didn't have any more health for this particular part of the game. And I was like, oh, yeah, man, yeah, I've got no health, blah, blah, blah. He told me basically how to win. So, and then when I turned the game on him, that feeling of like, oh, my God. And it's just so cool. It's so cool. I love Demio Battles. It's great. I actually prefer it to real Demio, to be honest.
I absolutely
a lot of
do.
people, like most people are raving about it. That's why I was so surprised that Radio Round, who loves original Demio, didn't like it. I mean, to the point of giving it a 1-star review. That's how he felt about it.
He changed it to 2. He changed it to 2.
It's 2 now.
Yeah, he's not that critical now.
That's crazy to me.
That's
That's
insane.
crazy to me.
It is a phenomenal game. I've played this game to death. I really, really like it too.
Yeah, and I
speak
can
of the devil.
understand like the balance
Radio,
things. Like first of all, I don't agree that wizard is the most powerful class. If I had to give that to
We've
one
gone
of
full
them,
geek
I would.
now.
I know. I would call it the barbarian. The
Really?
barbarian is
Yeah.
crazy strong. Like mainly, in my opinion, for the mobility. Like you can get around that map like no other with that chain. Like I will move huge distances. And it's so versatile. You can pull people in, you can knock them away. I personally think that the barbarian is overpowered, and I would reduce his mobility maybe by a few points or this or that or whatever. But I can understand the balance aspect of the game because any PvP game does need to be balanced.
Right.
But Demio, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons in the way that like RNG is a huge part of this game,
Right.
and like sometimes you just get a bad roll and you lose, and that's all there is to it. Like, you lost because you got a bad roll, and that's it.
Yeah.
But your ability to strategize in Demio battles is tenfold what the original Demio was. Because in the original game, it's only you versus AIs. And maybe the AIs are slightly unpredictable, but their behavior is pretty standard. And you can start to put together strategies that are like really sound. But when you have human opponents and you're trying to anticipate what a human is going to do, it just blows the roof off the whole thing. And like now I have to like try to get multiple steps ahead and think about what they're gonna do, and where is in it's
It
incredible.
might
I
even
can't
be
get enough.
down to like your personal preference anyway of even fighting games. Like I love fighting games, Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat. Like I've played them all my life. Maybe some people don't want that competition, maybe they don't want that kind of game. So
Totally. Yeah. You have to have that like thirst for blood, like you have to be that person who wants to win, like you get in there and you want to beat people and like assert your dominance and like go on a winning streak, like that is, I love those types of games. I have a love-hate relationship with them, of course, but at the end of the day, that's what I play.
I have a question about the game. I haven't played it yet, but it's like actually sounds like the kind of game I would really love. Do they for people that don't care about the pure competitive spirit, is there like any sort of progression for those people to unlock things as they play? Or is it...
there's a little bit of progression. So there's a leveling system that you get experience as you play games, and then you also get a currency that is called keys that helps you unlock certain things. So there are aesthetic unlockables and bonus maps that you can hit certain tiers of levels to unlock the ability to purchase. So I think it's like level 5, a tier unlocks, level 10, a tier unlocked. I forget what the actual levels are, but
Characters unlocked too, right? At first.
and the characters. Yeah, you have to hit
you only
level
get a couple
20
at first.
to get to the barbarian and unlock him.
I've got a complaint.
Wow.
I've got a complaint about the game.
Yeah.
What?
So when you pick different boards to have like different environments, you still stay in the same room. Like I would like it that the room changed with the board.
Yes.
I would like that. If you
like
pick
a fully immersive environment.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I've played it any other way than in mixed reality, so
Me
that's
too.
funny.
nice,
Doing
man.
is mixed reality, so I don't know.
Oh, I've
Yeah.
never played
Yeah.
it in mixed reality.
Oh,
I've
it's so
only done full
cool.
VR.
It's very cool in mixed reality, dude. Like one of the biggest tech influences of me growing up. He used to do something called the Gadget Show. He was really quite famous on TV and stuff when people on TV mattered more than what they do now, obviously. And I took the Quest Pro around his house, and we was doing all sorts of things. Mainly there to try be haptics, and he basically wished for Demio. He explained his dream game, and he was talking away, and I was thinking, I've got that fucker installed right now. And he was telling me and telling me. I went, dude, that exists, and you can play it right now. And we set it up in mixed reality, dude. And honestly, he fucking lost his shit. He
Amazing.
could not believe it. Yeah, he couldn't believe it. So, and that was on that awful pass through.
Yeah.
What,
And,
what I
here's
what I
a-
love, I was gonna say what I love
Oh.
about Demio is I know that there's a lot of people that maybe don't want to play against somebody else, but that's what you have regular Demio for. Like if you
Right.
like partner up with people, you have that. Like it's there, and this is just a different game. So I mean, I guess if you just hate those types of games, go play regular Demio. But I mean, for people out there who want to have some more competition or get into 2-on-2 or 1v1, I mean, I think it's a great thing that we have the option. And I don't know, they supported Demio for so long and still continue to do. Supported that. I have absolutely no problem buying this game as a separate standalone game. And again, if you're not into this type of competitive play, then don't buy it and stay with regular Demio.
The only thing for me is, I mean, I got to admit, I think the price was a bit high. Like, I mean, we know Demio is very successful, or I think it's successful anyway. It seemed very successful, so I was quite surprised at the price of entry. Thank you, Paradise Decay, for the £2 donation. I don't agree with this. He's put, who else likes micro stutters?
My mom!
I don't know.
She loves everything.
Why would she like that?
That makes no
I don't
damn
know.
sense, PD.
Come
It
on,
doesn't
who
make
doesn't like
any
stutters?
sense. Maybe that's just what tickles his pickle.
It's it's the micro part he loves. Okay.
All right. two more things that I want to mention.
Maybe she's
based off
lying.
of-
Maybe the
off of your
mum's
guys'
lying to him.
comments.
Maybe the mum's lying. I love
So-
this.
First thing I want to say is that Demio and Demio battles they're so close in terms of like the mechanics, the characters that exist in them, blah, 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 that like, yes, sure, there is like some balancing that happens between the games, but at the end of the day, development efforts in one game will pretty much translate to development efforts in the other. Like when they come out
True.
with a new hero, that's going to work for 2 different games. You know what I mean? So that's a really, really awesome thing. I think we're going to see support for both of these games moving forward into the future and whatever else they add to the catalog. And then secondly, this is something that I really don't think should be slept on. Demio is, as a flat screen game, as good as it is in VR. Like I have a friend who I play Demio battles with every day, who for whatever reason, he knows who I am and what I do. I cannot get this guy to buy a headset. And, you know, we play games like Rocket League and stuff like that. But he's addicted to Demio and doesn't even own a VR headset. He plays Demio battles every day, plays without me even on the Steam version. So if you have a friend out there who you just can't get into VR, check out Demio and get them involved on the Steam one, because it's amazing on the flat screen. And it's a good way to get gaming while you're still in VR with maybe some of your friends who won't do it.
I don't think it's made a big impact though, dude. It's only got 22 reviews on Steam.
Demio battles?
Oh, Steam.
Wow, that's a damn shame.
And there's
Yeah,
some
it
not
really is.
and there's some not recommended there. It's mostly positive, but there's a couple. It's crazy.
Phenomenal.
Did it release
That's
on
wild.
PSVR too?
Not yet.
No.
No,
After
No,
New
but
Year.
it's going to though. It's right.
It's
Is there?
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because as someone said, Demio looks amazing on PSVR 2. That was the first game I ever played on PSVR 2, actually, behind the scenes. It was Skeever, wasn't it? It was the first one we ever saw.
It was. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah.
At resolution.
We saw, yeah, it's like 3 months before the release. They were like, do you want to see PSVR 2? We're like, oh, yeah. You can't tell anyone. We're like, no, we won't. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
But Alex, have you noticed any, like, I don't know, unbalancing issues? I mean, you've played it a lot. I played it a little bit. You probably played it more than I have. But I played it a little bit. But I mean, it seems like you're able. So if you're playing like just 1v1, you get to choose 2 characters. I choose 2 characters. And me and you are battling each other. I choose 2 characters. You choose 2 characters. You can choose any 2 characters you want. I can choose any 2 characters I want. So it's not like you're limited to, you know, if you pick 2 characters, I can't pick those same 2 characters. So,
But that's the point.
where
That's
do you
what
think
that's what
unbalanced
Radio
is?
Run is saying is like, because certain classes are so powerful, nobody ends up using certain classes. You know what I mean? That's where the balance. Ideally, in a PvP game like this, everything you should be able to use every class and have the same advantage. So if I see Alex
For
go
the
in
same
there and
chances of winning.
he does Barbarian Wizard, I have to do Barbarian Wizard,
But do you
or I'm
have
going to
to,
get my
like,
ass kicked.
The matches
know,
I've
or
seen, I've seen a
whatever.
lot of I've seen a lot of the hunter, and I've seen a lot of the barbarian, and I've seen a lot of the bard as well as a fantastic support character, especially 2v2. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex, again,
So-
you probably more than I have. So you,
I've seen quite a bit. I've like I said, I'm playing this game every single day for hours, and I do see things that need to be balanced, and I think it would be easy to do. I personally don't think that there's like a huge mismatch. I think the strongest character is the barbarian, and the weakest would be the assassin. But I've seen people win games with assassins. I've seen, again, so much boils down to RNG that I think it could easily be interpreted as a balance issue when maybe the roles just didn't go the right way. You know what I mean? Because I can drop people in one turn with a barbarian. Vargas on a whole group of minions to get the bonus damage and then chain them. You just did 12 damage, drop them in one hit. You know, wizards are powerful. They can connect fireballs to gas lamps and stuff to like get extra effects and things like that going on. They can do a lot, but where I see a lot of the balance problems, less in the heroes is more in the monsters. Like I have kind of figured out what monsters I think are worth the gold, and like gold balancing is something that I think is going to make a big impact. Like some cards are too expensive, some monsters are too expensive or don't cost enough, you know, that kind of stuff. So a little bit of tweaking. That's all it's going to take. I think the barbarian's mobility needs to go down, maybe reduce how far the chain can go by a space or 2, little things like that. So yeah, they've got a long way to go. And PvP games, for the record, always undergo balance changes.
right.
Always. Like
Oh,
at
they
all
have to.
times. So
They
you'll
have to.
never get it perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
you-
sorry.
I was just gonna say, do you like? I think another complaint he had was they were too short. The matches. Do you think the matches are too short?
Nah, they last anywhere between 10 minutes on average, between 10 and 25 minutes. I've had a couple of games last over 30, and I even had one game where my friend and I won in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
We did lethal damage to both of their heroes in like 4 minutes and 50 seconds or something, and we didn't even get rewards. They didn't give us experience or keys because the
I
game
thought
was
you
so
were
fast.
cheating. They were
Yeah, or like
"Yeah,
they
dude,
thought
this
it like
dude's cheating."
disconnected or something. Yeah, it was like, damn, like I should have gotten bonus rewards for winning so quickly. So anyway, yeah, it could use some balance changes, and they'll come. You know,
I was just gonna say, I think universally this game is recommended by everyone. Dungeons of Eternity is currently 40% off.
Wow.
If you use the code BFCM23, and I'll try and write it in the chat if anyone hasn't got it. But what a fantastic game!
Right.
that's next on my list.
I was just gonna say, I think you'd love that, Alex.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's next on my list. I will play that before I play Assassin's Creed for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But I will tell you my game of the year is obviously Ghost of War, right? I love that game more than anything. It's everything I ever wanted in VR.
Oh, the wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my next favorite right now is Stride Fates. I've played that game so many
Really?
times straight through. I love
Wow.
that.
Wow, that's
How long
really
does it
awesome
take?
to hear.
How long does
Yeah.
it take to play through the campaign?
I think probably 5-6 hours. But as you play through, you can do it faster and faster each time because you know what's happening. You can start to speed run things. You kind of know you figure out what all the stuff is. I'm trying to go through 100% every level and find every single little thing. But I just love to go in there too and just run as fast as I can, run off walls, jump off of buildings, like go places I shouldn't. I just freaking love
It's
that.
a great
game.
looking game as well. It's a really
so
good looking game.
good. It's so good looking. The mechanics feel incredible. I went into Stride again, just the original one, and I was like, oh no. Do not judge this game on Stride. This is a very different game, different
But people
graphics,
will.
mechanics are better. I know, but they shouldn't. This is a legit part 2. Everything about it is a sequel, and it's so good.
There you have it. Nice.
There
Anything
you
else?
have it.
Anything else anyone else is playing that you'd recommend?
Uncharted 4 VR mod.
Pretty cool. If you
Yeah.
have a wheel and pedal, Galaxy carts with
Yeah.
the wheel and pedal on PlayStation VR 2.
Oh yeah, that's improved a lot.
What a huge
Oh,
bounce
yes.
for a game
Yeah.
that some reviewers called the worst looking game on PlayStation VR 2.
Somebody.
Are you on about me?
No. I don't know.
I didn't say the
never.
worst
You would-
looking
You
game.
would never.
I did
you
not
would
say
never
worst
that.
looking. Listen, I did not say worst looking. I don't think I actually questioned the graphics. I didn't mind the graphics. It was the fact that, as far as I remember, if you got in first place, that was the end of it. Like there was no competition after you get in first place.
Oh, it was
It
bad
is
back
completely
then.
different
It was
now.
bad.
This
Yeah.
game is like, that's what I'm saying. It's a complete bounce back. I don't know what they've done because I didn't play it back then because it was so bad. I'm like, I don't really.
Oh, that's
because
good.
It was reported that it was so bad. I'm like, I don't think I want to go in here and play this game. And we went back in and checked it out for Virtual Strangers because they have the wheel and pedal update, and then they had a ton of updates. Even since the original launch,
It needed more tracks as well.
I had a blast in there. Like, yeah, I mean, and it seems like I didn't even open a whole bunch of stuff up yet because there's a ton of stuff I think you can open up. Different vehicles and characters and more tracks. But what I played, I was like, holy crap! It plays so well with a wheel and pedal too.
Even the virtual wheel is
That's
amazing.
not what I said. Someone just said in my review, I said it looks like someone shitting their cereal.
Did you really say that? Wow, that's
Of
pretty
course I
harsh.
didn't. I would.
How could you say
I
something
love
like that?
cereal. I love
know.
cereal. I wouldn't
Well,
say
some
that.
of it's good.
Sh-
Some cereal is good. What do you think about Artful says what the Bat mixed reality will be upload game of the year 2023? Because
Oh.
I'm thinking about this. Imagine this world, because what the Bat, you could really immerse yourself and jump into it without holding back. because
I
you know
checked
you
out-
get in there and you're afraid you're gonna hit your TV or something. You could
That's
really
true.
I checked
Get in
out
there.
what the bat mixed realities, and the problem is it's got a ton of micro stutter, so I can't do it.
Fucking hell.
He's like, no, dude, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, baby.
I
What a
didn't.
Oh
But
callback.
my thing, I
God.
didn't feel it, Mash. I didn't feel it. So
Well,
I
you
don't
know,
know. I don't know what you're talking
some
about.
people are more susceptible to others. When,
Yeah, it's
when you
not
get a game
there.
of your
It's just
contenders
not
like
there.
that, you got to work through it, man. You got to work through
Listen,
it.
I want Skeever to tell me about the wipe. I want to hear about the details
Yeah,
of the
Z-Storm
wipe.
Z-Storm is
You know what?
raving about it.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Is
Ghost of Tabor, by the way,
go in
guys. That's what we're
there-
talking about. Ghost of Tabor.
I was supposed to go in and play more Ghost of Tabor this weekend, and my kid got sick and all this stuff happened. I just wasn't able to. So I have not played the wipe yet, but that is tonight for me.
Oh,
I
You're
will.
the best dad, Skeevy.
Yeah.
You're such a good
Oh,
dad.
thanks.
So how many maps do they have on that now, Skiva? It's been a while since I've played.
yeah.
it.
What is the updates? I don't actually know. I need to check it out.
There's 3, I think, now, right?
Yeah, there's 3. There's 3. They got so much cool stuff. I mean, they have a full bleeding system now. Like you get hit with different calibers of guns, like you bleed out different. If you don't bandage up, you're gonna bleed out throughout the map. You'll leave a trail of blood behind you. There's weapon melee stuff. There's some different weapons. There's the Terran tactical update. There is a whole bunch of stuff. The new map that came out pre-wipe, right, is actually really, really good. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in that game. There's a small backpack now. There's just so much. There's so much.
I'm gonna
stuff.
need another tour. I'm gonna
You
need
can
another
grow
tour
weed?
before
You grow weed
2023
now?
show.
It's a shame you're doing it tonight, man. If he's doing it tomorrow, like afternoon,
Probably
I'm-
be playing tomorrow too.
Yeah, probably.
I was thinking of making a video for tomorrow on it, but
Nice.
You
Yeah.
can farm your Bitcoin now too, I think.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can GPU farm. Yeah,
Yep. And you can grow. Can you grow yet too? I think
you can grow weed. Yes, you
You
can.
can.
grow
Oh,
weed.
you can grow weed.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Can
Yeah,
you
well,
smoke it
What do
too?
you
No.
what do you do with weed in the game?
how do you
smoke
talk
it,
about?
man.
Well,
What don't you do with weed, Alex?
That's
Come on,
true.
man. Smoke that shit and you like become a sharpshooter. It's awesome.
Listen, I know what people do with weed, okay? But I am wondering,
sure?
like, can you? What do you think? You sell it? You,
Listen,
like, grow it
guys,
and sell it.
Anyone listening, drugs are bad. Okay.
Yes,
Does
this
it-
is
Don't listen.
in game only. In game only.
Weed's not drugs. What are you talking about?
That's a
Drugs are
different
only good in
podcast.
video games. Look,
Yeah.
every video game, like so many video games out there that you just grab bottles of pills on every level and you choke them down.
That's true.
Painkillers.
That's your health. I'd rather be
Pharmaceuticals are
smoking
okay.
weed in games.
Pharmaceuticals,
Ever-
yeah, they
ever-
have a
ever-
lot
It
of
grows
money.
out the
Back in the day
ground,
was
man.
fun.
It grows out of the ground. It's got to be good for you if it grows out of the
Typical.
ground.
By
Thank
the
you,
way,
It'd
I'm
be
Storm,
good
for
for you if
giving
the
me
pharmacy says it's okay.
Z-Storm actually gave me an answer. Thank you. He says you use the weed to create the
Rope.
stems, the medical herbs to create.
Oh, that
Nice.
makes sense because it does it. It's medicine. See, it's a medical. GT.
I'm happy.
Mickey Barrios. Mickey Barrios. Shout out Mickey Barrios for doing Mickey Barrios things in the chat. Throwing keys.
Is he dropping
out like it-
keys? Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
dude, thank you ever so much. Thank you to everyone being here as well. It's very cool. Really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
I hope you're having a good week. I hope you've been enjoying VR recently on the run up to Christmas. What have we got coming next, guys? What are we all looking forward to next? Because to be honest, I'm personally
Sunshine.
Injector
Arizona
mod.
sunshine.
That's not
Injector
next.
mod.
That these things are probably the two things I'm most hyped about. Injector mod, Arizona Sunshine. Sure. What's next is the question. What's next is Sniper Elite Winter
That's
Warrior.
true. I'm excited for that too.
$15, like 10 days away.
Yep.
A sequel or a somewhat sequel to one of my favorite shooters, if not my favorite military shooter. In
There's
VR.
always someone
love
though
it.
who just is like, that game was trash. And I'm like, was it? Like, I don't remember it
No,
being
it was
trash.
great.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
It was
Mhm.
awesome.
I thought it was
Again,
awesome, yeah.
That was another AAA game. I mean, that's a huge IP that they did right. I mean, we get so many of these things that don't come out right. That's another one that just came out right. They did a great job. Like enough people still don't play that. And did you guys play it with the aim controller on PlayStation VR 1? It was
I played it in every single way possible because I actually helped play test it. So yeah, I did. Yeah,
it was so good.
I
I
liked
love,
it.
I love that game. And it feels like Sniper Elite. Like that's another thing too. Like, so many times we get these games, they put them in the VR and it doesn't feel like the original base game. That's why I love Assassin's Creed so much. Like Assassin's Creed in VR Nexus feels like Assassin's Creed. It feels like exactly like you would be playing the original Assassin's Creed flat, but everything you can do in virtual reality. And that's why Sniper Elite is so freaking good. Like the X-ray shots seem perfect to the flat game, except it's so much better when you can really do it in virtual reality. Like you get the best of both worlds with some of these games. So I wish there was more people playing Sniper Elite out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
I mean,
I
like,
played straight through it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't
all-
stop.
And it's hard, right, Wes? I mean, like that's another game where it challenges you just to beat it. They don't just give you the game. Like I like it when they don't just say, okay, here, you can just blow through every level. You get to later parts in that game, so you have to star to get through the level. So you can get 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. And to get to some of the later levels, you have to actually use the stars you get to unlock the levels. So if you just go through and 2-star all your levels and just try and ram through the game, you're not going to be able to, because they won't allow you to play the later levels. I like
The new one's not like that. The new ones just make the star thing into challenges. You can go to the levels without being good. You can suck and play the levels, which
Well, that's it. That's
I don't
it.
agree with that. But I never got to shoot someone's testicles off the whole time.
oh, I did.
Really?
I played a lot of that game. I
That's
number
cool,
one. I was number one on a lot of the leaderboards on PC for that game when it launched. Like I played the shit out of it.
So
What do
little
you mean you
context, a
never
little
got
I know,
to?
I know.
Like,
A little-
can you not do it? You just said you spent all this time in there.
a little
Do you
context.
feel weird doing it, or you just
In Sniper
I
Elite,
didn't feel
you're
right.
not that good of a
you get a
shot?
kill camera. Okay, when you kill someone, you get a kill camera, and it shows you like a transparent image of their body and like how their skull is getting fractured by the bullet. Like you can, it's like a kind of like a Mortal Kombat fatality where they like show you what's happening inside the body. So that's what they're referring to. It's like you can actually shoot somebody in the balls, and like it'll like give you the X-ray, and you can like see the balls get slammed by a bullet.
Oh,
Doesn't want to
man.
see that. You know what I mean?
So
That's just
GT,
great.
you can't do it because you like as a moral thing with you. You just don't feel comfortable.
No, I
doing
just
it, or-
haven't fucking. Maybe I'm not shooting people with big enough bollocks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm fucking
You need
aiming.
bigger
I'm aiming
balls.
for where my boys would be, and they're just never
Yeah,
there.
it's not easy. It isn't easy. You have to work at it, but you can do it.
Oh, thank you very much,
Wow.
Wes. I believe in yourself. So games coming out then, right? So we got Arashi, Castles
Yep.
of Sin. What's
Ooh,
the
yeah.
hype levels for Arashi? Talk to me.
I'm pretty hyped for it. You know, I like the original, but there was definitely some room for improvement. There was a lot of room for improvement. I like the idea of a studio like Skydance getting a hold of that and kind of, not only giving us a current gen refresh of it, but bringing it to all the platforms as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, and the good thing is they delayed it as well. And I noticed they've been posting little like clips of, now you've got like a hop ability, not just a teleport ability. Like it looks like they're taking on some sort of criticism somewhere. But yeah, it looks like it's definitely had a visual upgrade. Yeah, that's the main thing. And I know AJ from PSVR Out Parole, or what
PSVR Underground.
PSVR Underground, but he is on PSVR Out Parole as well. Sorry. He absolutely loved Arashi. Like it was his tenure of VR. You know, that was how we described the game. So yeah, for some people I think that game's awesome. And then we got the
Pretty
unfortunate,
stoked for that game.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And then you get the dog as well, Haru. Looking forward to hanging out with
Yeah,
him
I
again.
love the dog. He's so cool, man. I wasn't excited for this game until I got to play it at Gamescom, and I was like, "Oh, this is sick!" Like
Yeah.
it looks so good.
Yeah.
So
I think
good. Feels good.
there's been a thing, isn't there, this year of dogs and VR. So you got Arizona
Yeah.
Sunshine Buddy, you got Haru from Arashi Castles of Sin, and there was one more. Oh, Hellhound from
Hellsweeper.
Hellsweeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately today we got some news that BulletStorm is going to be delayed, and that
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm going to make this. This is my thing. This is my thing. Because as you were saying that about Arashi's thing, I was going to ask you, GT. I was waiting for a break in it. What do you think about the trend in these companies actually backing off and not pushing these? Because this is a good thing. BulletStorm. We want BulletStorm to come out in this fantastic
he asked me.
way.
He asked me, and then he was too tempted to think like I need to fucking say how I feel about it first.
Well,
What do you
I'm
think,
just-
GT? Because I think it's
I'm-
amazing.
I'm just thinking. I'm asking your opinion in it, and I'm giving you what
It's
I
the
think on
same.
it.
It's the
because-
same. Whatever you're going to say, I know we feel the same.
I just feel like the industry, for whatever reason, it's becoming a little bit more acceptable for these devs to step back and breathe. There was, like Wes was saying last night, there's so much pressure on these devs for a lot of reasons, and if financially, if you can afford it and you feel like the game needs a little bit more, step back and do it, because everything is the bar is rising, and you don't want to get left behind because you pushed it too quickly, right?
Absolutely, and I do think in VR it is a storm in a teacup community, and if you do a bad release, it's so hard to climb back out of that. Like, and that's the thing. We don't, you know, you really do have. I'm not. I mean, No Man's Sky is different. Like, that game has been through the ringer, I think, on flat and VR, really, in terms of like visuals and stuff. But yeah, like now, I just don't think you can take the risk. You've got to choose to delay constantly.
Well, I'll point out that BulletStorm's being published by Incuvo, who also
Right.
recently published Green Hell VR
Ugh.
on PlayStation VR 2.
Another
And
reason.
we saw how that went, and they saw how that went. And,
Yeah.
I think this is them like kind of learning their lesson with it.
I hope so, dude. I really do. You know, I hope someone stepped in there and just gone, do you know what? This just ain't good enough. And we're going to have to tell whoever is paying for this to be released that it's just a bad move.
You think
You can
somebody
see
should have told
Shimmer in the
First
trailer.
Contact that? Think somebody should have told Firewall Ultra that?
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
They're never coming back from it. Even if they get
Dude.
the game perfect today, that game is done, bro.
That
You're slapping Alex
sucks
across
so
the
I
face.
do,
hard.
do you know what? I know
I
what
want
you say.
it. I want it to be great.
I know what you're saying, Eric, right? I do know what you're saying. But the PSVR community is super strong, and they're very like a hive mind sometimes. And if they did something substantial to update it, they can turn the tide. I just don't know what it's gonna. I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying they're gonna do it, and I'm not saying they can. But I believe if a game can do it, like on PSVR as a platform, it can change things more than any other platform. I think more than PCVR and Quest.
I
Like,
agree.
I
Yeah.
think they could have on a PlayStation VR 1 because of the amount of players that were there. There's not enough players now or on the PlayStation VR 2 or some of those diehards that are there. Like, I think the players that are there now are maybe not as the diehards that were there for PSVR 1 because they're just not, because it just
A lot of those guys are still playing Firewall 0 Hour.
yeah,
Like,
right,
they didn't
exactly.
get
No
they
way.
didn't get PlayStation VR 2s. Yeah, there's still a hardcore group of people playing Firewall 0 Hour. They did not buy PlayStation VR 2s. They don't have PS5s, whatever.
Mash,
Like,
that cup
but-
looked wicked. What was that cup?
I know this thing is awesome. This is
That was awesome.
But I really do appreciate the
That
point
was
that you
sick.
just made, GT, because you were just talking about it. No Man's Sky. Like, everybody was like, nope, No Man's Sky doesn't work on PlayStation. And this is a PlayStation VR 1 experience that people were talking about. And only recently did they get the PlayStation VR 2 patch, and everybody lost their shit and just ran to
Yeah.
the PlayStation VR 2s to play No Man's Sky. So I agree with you on the hive mind thing too. I do think that people, especially on PlayStation VR, for whatever reason, will just deal with it. You know, they'll just be like, yeah, well,
I just see it too often, more than any other platform, maybe down to numbers, like Eric's saying. It's an echo chamber. You know, it's an echo chamber of thought, you know, and it's very hard. It's very hard to sway. So the worst thing that can ever happen in PSVR terms is two big channels reviewing something differently. When that happens, it's fucking chaos. Like, it is just, no one is, you know, it's worse than any other system I know of when a review drops, because people are so passionate. Virtuality is a passion anyway, and then double down on that to being only on one system, and then like focusing in again on a franchise. Like, that's why I know Firewall could turn it around, but for how many people would it turn it around for?
And for how long?
Yeah.
You know, how long do they have? Breachers is about to drop, and it's got a huge community already, and it's
Oh.
an amazing game too.
Yeah.
How long does it take? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's still not fixed completely. I mean, these games, it boggles my mind how some of them get it wrong so badly. We just went in the Crossfire Sierra Squad the other night again to go in to basically say how great this game is, and the PC version for multiplayer is completely broken.
Oh,
You can't
really?
play on multiplayer. We tried to
We
live.
couldn't even load.
heard
We couldn't
stream
even
it.
load.
We couldn't load in. So,
what?
like,
That's so weird.
yeah. So it's just, and now I don't know if that's the same for the PlayStation version, but for the PC version, it's like us as enthusiasts can't even go in and try and help a game that we like because we go in.
How long
and
are they supposed
months-
to support it though, Mash?
Yeah.
Oh
it's
wait,
like-
it just came out. Never mind.
But, like, this is like, you're a couple months into your launch and you can't launch multiplayer on PC. Like, how do you
Crazy.
do that? Like, and it was working, so that's something they've done since then. Broke it.
Crossplay. That's what they've
Right.
added in. They've added
Yeah.
crossplay.
Yeah, and to your point now, Mash, I really do think Firewall's in trouble. Like, if I had to guess whether or not I think it's going to make it, I'm leaning more towards your perspective and thinking that they're probably dead at this point.
It's
I mean, here's the thing: someone you were just mentioning breachers. Like, when Firewall Ultra or when Firewall Zero Hour
That's
came
the
out,
real problem.
there was nothing. There
Yeah.
was nothing.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do a multiplayer shooter, you are playing Firewall. Period. That is it. So everybody spent years playing that game because nothing even
So
came close to
there's
it.
just
Now,
so there's
Breachers
just
is coming. Now there's Crossfire Zero Squad. Now there's all these other experiences. Pavlov. You
Pavlov.
can fucking play Pavlov. So
Right.
no one has to play Firewall. And I don't think they're going to.
it's such a problem because the thing I jumped into breaches today to do some stuff, and it's so solid looking and crisp, and I know it's going to be running at 120 hertz. The gameplay's solid. There was like, I don't know, 30 servers today, and that was in the morning of my time, which means the Americans have gone to sleep, and they're going to be the biggest users. So like maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time is when all the US guys get on, and that's when things get busy. So to see that, and there was at least 10 of those were private, like full lobbies, private, locked, 10 players in each, and you think to yourself, dude, this game is still vibing. Like, I went in there, people are communicating, they're talking properly, and I just think it's a real shame. I think it's gonna be the nail in the coffin for Firewall.
I agree. Yep. It's so much easier to like play and enjoy. Like, the progression in Firewall is so fucking brutal, which really makes sense for like a hardcore community of gamers, which, to be fair, Firewall's community absolutely is those people. Like, they would rip through that progression in no time if it didn't have that like really long grindy aspect to it. But in Breachers, like, I personally love the like the economy system in that game, how like every single round
Oh yeah,
you're purchasing stuff.
it's like
and, like, you're
CS:GO,
doing it on
isn't
the
it? It's
go.
like CS:GO. Yeah,
You're already in the match. You're already in the map, and that's where you're picking your stuff, So it's
Right.
just smooth and fast and fun, and it's
And
every
switch
bit
it up
as
on the
tense
fly.
as Firewall. Like, it was the tension of Firewall that really hooked me to that game. Like, just leaning into a wall and listening for
it's still
footsteps,
there though, isn't it? That tension is still
It is.
there.
It is still there, and I
Yeah.
still played quite a bit of Firewall Ultra. But I think with these other games coming out, and it's no one's gonna play that game.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna
Here's why I think they have a chance, because they still have things coming. If they can get their server issues in hand, they can introduce the new game modes that they've been advertising since pre-launch. They can introduce some seasonal content like they did with Firewall Zero Hour, maybe cut the price back a little bit, and that will be enough to get people to look at it again. Give it another look. Now it has to be on point. It has to be on point when they do that.
I just
And-
think the way they launched it, and I don't think I think I've told you guys, I was talking to them months before like anyone knew about Firewall Ultra, like I'd say a year, and they never used us to do anything.
Yeah,
like the
that's obvious.
plans were to do playtesting and talking and help the game, and it never happened. And the decisions there were just, I mean, in a way, the only reason I'd imagine ignoring us was because they didn't want to hear us say, no, that's a bad idea. Like, I don't know. But
Well, I kind of feel like the Firewall dev team has made the game they want.
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
period.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
That's
said.
the game they want.
Yes, that's exactly what I said in my, like, I guess, review, was this is the game they want to play. This is this is what they want
That's
to play.
their game. They want to play Firewall Zero Hour or Firewall Ultra, so they made it the way they want it. They want to take breaks in between matches to strategize and redo their loadouts or whatever. Like, they made the
Do
game they wanted
they?
to play.
Or do they just want to reskin the old game and just get it out at minimal
It is
cost?
the old game, though, underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, it is a
That makes me
reskin.
think
It's
they're just
100%.
lazy. You know?
Yeah.
It's a reskin with some really bad mechanics, I think, personally.
Yeah,
And
There's
we all rooted for it too. Just not like, again, I don't mean to kill Firewall Ultra. Like, I want it to be good. And like,
oh, yeah, of course.
I'll root for it. I'll root for it to be great. Like, I'll root for them to fix it. and I'll go back in, and if it's all fixed, I'll tell everybody I know that it's all fixed. I just hope they do it. Like, I want to see it. Like, I want the PlayStation VR 2 to be a super successful system. Just right now, it just seems like there's more misses than hits, and I just want to see better.
I can't think of another system that I've bought apart from Xbox Connect that started out on such a high and then has slowly just curved like this for me. And that's what's happened with that headset. And it's not the headset's fault. I know Brad and other people do have issues with the way things are handled in that headset, and I guess I do sometimes too, but I just don't find myself needing to pick it up, and it's really annoying because the real reason at the moment still is Gran Turismo and Resident Evil 8 and
Gran
Horizon.
Turismo, bro.
Yeah, like, you know, like the obvious things, you know. So yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake. What I'm worried about is people jumping on that. Before I say this, I fully believe that 2024 is going to be a massive year for PSVR 2, and because it has to be. I can't imagine them doing all this and there's not stuff lined up to make this
I
headset
agree, but
awesome.
you know what? I couldn't imagine them having nothing for holiday season to sell this headset. Like that's the most shocking thing for me.
But if they go,
we all talked about this holiday season.
They launched with 3 AAA bangers, which was great. People criticized their launch lineup. I think that was ridiculous.
Really?
Like the launch lineup was incredible. But I've always kind of said, all right, the summertime's slow, fine. They're not showing us what's coming down the road. That sucks, but whatever, fine. They'll have at least one more banger this year to compete with Quest 3 at Christmas time. And here we are. It's Black Friday week and crickets, man. There's nothing. Like Resident Evil 4 is coming. Hopefully it drops soon. But you would think if it was coming in the next few weeks, they would have given us the date by now.
Well,
they'd be hyping it right now.
I'm just worried about that conversation. Like, I recently made a video very recently about what people are asking. What would you buy at the moment? Quest 3 or PSVR 2, and I answered it as best I could. But what we're going to run into a holiday season now is people buying PSVR 2 for Resident Evil 4, and then they're going to have to go through the back catalogue. What I don't want people to do is get there and go like, well, what's coming next? And I don't know. I just don't know. With the marketing, it's non-existent. It's just really strange.
Yeah, and it's all of PlayStation. It's not just PSVR. It's all of PlayStation is like that. Like nobody knows what's coming anywhere for PlayStation. Like they're typically very good about hyping the next year of games ahead of time.
Yeah,
and the last couple of years they just haven't been doing that. They haven't been sharing what's coming. And it's very strange. It's a strange decision. I kind of understand it on in terms of the console a little bit because they're out to such a lead over Xbox and everything else that they don't really have to market it. It just sells itself. They can coast off of their past. But with PSVR 2, it's not like that, man. They're in the heat of battle, and I've always said that, you know, Sony and Meta aren't direct competitors because Sony, Meta is selling to common people and Sony is selling to people who already have PlayStation.
Yes.
But if you think about it, if you have a PS5 today and you're starting to get interested in VR, which headset do you buy?
Yeah.
Like a lot of those people are going to buy Quest 3s today. Yeah. Which is weird that I'm even saying that because the PS5 is so much more capable of producing a AAA experience than even the Quest 3 is. But Sony's just not sharing what's in development, and it's to their detriment, I feel.
It's such the weird thing. Like we've been pinpointed with like, well, when this happens, this is going to happen. And when they do this is, we keep going to these like, okay, the summer is quiet, but as soon as the holidays hit, they're going to release some big stuff. We're going to see Astrobot for the holidays. We were all thinking that we were going to see some of these big titles, and they just don't. Like, I don't know when. Like, when's the next thing? We keep saying, okay, well, in 2024 is going to be great, which I agree. I think so too.
I believe so too.
Yeah. But I've been wrong this whole time. Like, I thought that we were going to have cast holiday season for them. I thought we would see Astrobot this
Astrobot
holiday.
Is so needed, bro.
Yeah,
we need that game.
Astrobot,
so
we need Wipeout, we need Farpoint, we need what made PSVR 1 great to make PSVR.
Well, it needs to be better than that. It needs to be actually better than that.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is going to come through third party.
Yeah, I hope so,
But with
dude.
first party, we need Sony to make some games for us.
But I do
Damn
think that the number of I don't know the number of headsets sold, but I think developers are quite aware of user numbers, and I think that's why now and again when we get these cross launches, the PSVR 2 seems to be the one that suffers, and that's happened a few times. And then you got Project Wingman. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was a joke, man.
terrible.
Aces
that
of
was the
Thunder
one
looks
of-
great, doesn't it?
Yeah, Ace
have
of
you-
Thunder looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks
Wingman was one
really,
of
really
the
good.
3 games. Well, there was a couple
Oh,
games.
Skeever, I saw your tweet, dude. Talk about the
Dude, that
trailer.
trailer.
What was the
They
trailer? Talk us
released-
through the trailer.
They released a new trailer for PSVR 2, and they featured Project Wingman, they featured Firewall Ultra, and they featured Ghostbusters. Like
Dude.
3 of the most criticized games that
I
have hit
swear it's
that
like they don't-
platform.
They must have had some
Or
sort
they
of.
don't know what's going
want
on.
it to die. I am legit mad at Sony. I'm not just like bummed. I'm fucking mad, man. Because like I went out there and I told all these people, "Oh man, Sony, they're gonna come in."
Oh,
and
so
they're
did
gonna
I.
know.
steal it.
So did
They
I.
have all these developers like in their pocket, like they know they have the relationships with the developers. Are going to make all these games, the AAA, blah 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 blah. And now I look like an idiot, right? Because Sony is just doing nothing. They're letting their platform die, and it pisses me off, man. More than
And-
You're
anything.
right. You
And-
still
I don't
you
think-
guys still have a
if you
chance to
think
be
of-
right.
And if you think about it, though, they came out of the big gate so strong to the point that if you look at their year as a total, they actually had a good year.
Oh yeah, it's good, but it's all on the
That's-
back of third party. It's all on the back of
that's
third
how
party.
good the launch was. It's been so bad since then.
Yeah.
It's like they came out to the race and they were so far in the lead. They were like, I can just coast now.
Yeah, the first 3
Wow.
months were amazing. Like,
And Meta is
Guys,
blowing right by them now.
they-
You're like,
they
what
are
you doing?
They're Sony. Why can't they just fire all the idiots there and hire people that know VR? There's so many people that know VR. Hire those people. Make your headset successful. I don't even have sympathy for Sony anymore. Like really, they're really making me mad.
that trailer was mental. I didn't
It was
actually.
ridiculous.
When I saw it,
Ridiculous.
I had so many things I wanted to say that I didn't say anything. I was just a bit like, if you got nothing good
I
to
was-
say, don't say anything. And then I saw your tweet, dude, and I liked it. I think I said something, but
Yeah,
I
it's
was
got
just
almost like 20,000 views on that stupid tweet. Like I can't be obviously not the only one that's mad here. All these people have spent their hard-earned money. They're sitting by and they're watching all these people play all these awesome games on the Quest and have all these amazing experiences. And they have this far superior headset that's just collecting dust.
yeah.
And they've been abandoned by this mega company that has more money. You know, it's just so messed up.
I need to
Really
give
fun, yeah.
some shout outs because we had some donations earlier. I don't know if I said thank you to Snow Toad for the 5 CruCast memberships earlier. Thank you ever so much. We then got Rezul dropped another 20. That means he has, and I'm surprised there's any
120.
120 CruCast memberships. I'm surprised that not
Wow.
every single person in this chat in some way has been a member at some point.
None of us have still got it.
Brad is the only
Brad
one.
did. Brad did.
Brad's the only
Lucky
one.
Brad. Thank you ever so much. Parasite 82 Green dropped £5. He says, due to watching the latest Versus episode, I picked up Medal of Honor Sniper Elite with 50.
Virtual strangers. bro.
Virtual Strange. I didn't know what it meant. Virtual Strangers episode. I have picked up Medal of Honor and Sniper Elite with 40% off. Thank you to Wes
Nice.
and Roots, and great show so far. Oh, that's lovely, man. Thank you ever so much. That is so cool. Do you know what? Funny enough, I was talking about Medal of Honor the other day. I thought it was such a good game. But you know,
I
that-
enjoyed it.
GT with permission.
I don't. What are you gonna?
Oh.
Brad,
Huh?
human sight computerized. Does
Oh.
that mean anything to you?
The Vario thing.
Vario thing.
Oh, the wireless headset or whatever it is.
Human sight computerized is the tagline they're using for a headset that they are getting ready to announce. Vario.
Talk to
maker
us,
of
Brad.
Very high end set.
November 27th, right?
What does it mean?
Oh. What do you guys think is about to be announced? Let's start
Well,
with
there's a
that.
big
Second
4
mortgage.
on the screen. So I guess that's their 4th headset.
What do I
Yeah,
think?
it's-
I what do you think is going to be announced? I guess it's something that does dynamic foveated eye injection.
with
With-
AI.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna say human sight computerized, that means that you think your displays have reached the same resolution as the human retina.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's what they're saying.
and the refresh rate.
And yeah, right. Like,
And the FOV.
is that
Oh,
possible?
wait, maybe not.
No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Probably not.
I
So
can't
what do you know?
Possible for a
but,
computer to run that thing? Like
Brad.
even if it is what they say it is?
What does it
No.
mean?
I can speculation inserted here.
Speculate. Can you speculate?
Well, I do agree it's probably an XR4 or VR4 or something. If you think about Vario's position right now,
Are they enterprise mostly?
they are very
Yes.
enterprise, especially they're pretty big military as well for like flight simulation stuff. Very big for that. However, when it comes to enterprise, you know, my opinion, their biggest competitor would probably be the Apple Vision Pro coming up next year, right? And their latest headset was the XR3. Great headset when it came out. Like, well, obviously it was ridiculous when it came out. But I think these days it is if I was an enterprise person and I saw the XR3 today, I'd be like, well, I'd rather go with Apple than they're offering. So I think they're in a precarious position where they have to push out new hardware to keep their clients, because again, we're talking about like Fortune 500 companies, right? We're not talking about the regular Joe. They're designing cars, they're doing all that stuff. So they've always been focused on the highest fidelity experience, and yeah, they won't. Well, we'll see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they even claim to be close to what the human eye perceives and are delivering that in a headset, then I'll be excited to go to CES. You know what I mean? Or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, for real.
I can get this thing on because
Yeah,
that sounds
34090s.
ridiculous.
34090s, I reckon.
Yeah, and I mean, previous Vario headsets are like what, like 8K at the low end, you know, or like I don't know, they're like $10,000, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like 8,000 with the subscription. You'd also have to pay as well. So very expensive headsets. However, I will say that they historically, if you look at their first generation and like up until their third generation, every generation they have gotten cheaper over time because you know they're getting more customers, they got more volume, so that makes things cheaper. The interesting thing is Vario's kind of always been human eye resolution. However, they've done it with kind of a tricky way where they would do 2 displays per eye. They'd have a tiny micro display, OLED micro display, in this one area that's supposed to be in your center periphery, and they'd have another display, or I should say they would have a hot mirror in the lens stack that would reflect that display to where it's above another display that's actually where normally a display would be. So you'd have a lower resolution periphery. Now, I again, that was all you could do with basic off-the-shelf components for the longest time. Display, you could not get a high enough PPI display and good enough volumes to do it all with one display. But I think we're getting to the point now where I think Vario, in my opinion, should ditch that 2 per eye thing because it adds a lot of bandwidth. The XR3, for example, you have to have 2 display. Actually, you have to have 2 link boxes, and each link box requires its own power connector, its own USB-C, and its own display port. So it's like a mess if you want to plug it into your PC and everything.
I think that's the one I tried. Is that the 12,000 one? It's like a blue with the eyes on it. Is that that one?
Yeah.
He's got one.
It's like, here, let me show you.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I should have had it out while discussing it because I think many people are visual learners. But
Yeah.
this thing is
It's crazy, dude. I've used
neat.
one, yeah.
It's neat. But yeah, it's dated. I do think the 2 display per eye thing is dated, and I hope they get rid of that or figure out how to get rid of it because it's just adds bulk and weight and stuff, and yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out on Monday, a week from today.
Oh, sweet.
So pretty exciting. Obviously, you know, it's nothing that any of us will, well, unless you're Brad, will have at the house and do stuff with. But it's always cool to keep an eye on these companies that are like pushing out the highest of the high end VR, and kind of gives us a glimpse into the future of what will trickle down to us as consumers in the next, you know, couple years.
It's crazy when you try a headset like that, and it would have been a year and a half ago now. I tried that. It's visually, it puts you on a different level of what VR is going to be and what pass through is going to be, and it just changes everything, your perception of everything for a little bit. It's weird.
Well, we
weird.
keep seeing, we see the high end technology slowly trickle down to the to what, you know, ends up in our houses, right? So like if we had brought a Quest 3, you know, to CES 2022 or something, we would all have been crapping our pants over the resolution, right? So
Yeah,
it's good to see these higher end headsets, and you know, because we know eventually it's going to be in some of the more affordable tech.
it is. We still got some donations to read out. Thank you ever so much to Blue Bottles. He has written best VR podcast on YouTube, full stop. That also includes everyone else on here. Thank you ever so much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. There was something else that I've got here somewhere. Oh my god, the chat's moved. It's loaded up. There we go. Mark Pringles Leaf with a £2 donation. Do you do you think PSVR 2 will be Sony's last VR headset?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Oh my goodness.
No, we're not
So-
doing Bloom and everything. We're just doing. We want more, but we're not saying that they're gonna.
And we
turn
just
them
want to
off.
know what's happening. You know, we know they're Sony, to me, has proven that they're investing in AAA games. You know, the fact that Resident Evil 4 just got announced, or I guess it announced a while ago, and it's coming out soon. Like if they'd given up, they wouldn't have funded that. It wouldn't be in VR. And so I just think it's just going to take longer than we thought, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have faith. I'm not giving don't mistake my frustration for a lack of faith. My
Yeah, well said.
frustration with
Well said.
their marketing, their lack of marketing prowess around their new headset doesn't mean that I've lost faith. The games are coming. I hope they come next year. But I think that this headset is going to be very similar to PSVR 1, where by the time it gets a few years in, maybe we're not buying every game on it anymore, but every 4 to 6 weeks, there's going to be a banger that you can only play on this headset, and we're going to be buying those games and playing them and loving them.
Well, it's just worrying that I think if that is the case, like we are already 20% in the life cycle of it. If that is the case,
No, yeah, probably.
do you know what I'm saying? Or a bit more, but I mean, like,
Getting close to it.
Yeah.
We're probably about 15% through it right now. Not the actual life cycle, but the real life cycle.
because it's
you
tied
know,
to the PS5 as well. I'm assuming,
right. And we could get, I mean, fingers crossed, we could get refreshes, right? We could get a console refresh. We could get a headset refresh with new features and stuff. That would be cool if
Historically,
there's
that
games
has
to support
happened.
it.
Yeah, it has. It
Yeah.
has. Yeah. It has
So
happened.
yeah, it could remain viable for that. But the fact that we're looking at this as maybe being a 5-year cycle, that's 2 Quest lifespans. You know what I mean? We'll be on
Yeah.
Quest 5 by the time we see
Dude,
PSVR 3.
I think they're gonna have to release a new version of the PlayStation VR 2. Like, and it's kind of crazy because the Quest 3, before the Quest 3 was in my hands, I was like, I did not care about AR pass through, MR, any of that stuff. And now that I've been using the Quest 3 as like my daily driver, I have a completely new perspective. I think that like that full color pass through, depth sensor, mixed reality stuff that I see every time I put the headset on first is a huge deal, especially just for people who are getting into VR for the first time. I think anybody who puts on a Quest 3 and then goes and puts on a PlayStation VR 2 and sees that black and white pass through is immediately going to feel like they're using old hardware, which is insane because ultimately it's capable of doing as much or more as the Quest 3 in terms of like games and stuff like that. But seeing that black and white environment after getting used to a full color pass through on my Quest 3, like honestly made me feel like I had just taken a step back. And I know better, but a lot of people don't. And I think that that could, even something as simple as that could hold it back. When someone puts on
Yep.
the headset and immediately it's black and white, they're gonna be like, what the hell is this?
And the
And
size and the
it's not
bulk,
good.
right? Like the size and the bulk of it makes it feel not so premium compared to something like a Quest as well.
Yeah.
Even though we know there's a reason for it, we know that it's there because they chose HDR over pancake lenses, but it's still, to a normal consumer that doesn't understand any of that, it definitely feels like a step backwards, even though it's not really.
They better have some of the most kick-ass games, because this headset will feel outdated. It feels almost outdated
Soon.
now. But can you
Yeah.
imagine a year from now or 2 years from now what that headset's going to feel like?
This is-
If
this
we're
is-
trying to do a 5-year cycle, no way.
This
The
is why I got
cycles.
so worried, dude, about when we started learning the specs of Quest 3, and even though, you know, whoever leaked them, it was a bit like, I was a bit like, oh shit, like that worries me, because I know how good Pancake can be. I know Facebook Reality Labs are hardcore for visuals and trying to get those lenses looking really good and optics looking very good. And I kind of thought to myself, this is not an area I've been in before. Like PSVR, all right, it was 1080p, didn't always look the best, but the power of PS4 made the games look a lot better than OG Quest. Yeah, and OG Quest, what was the resolution of OG Quest? I can't even remember. Was it 1600 at first?
It was something like that. I mean, it was a pretty decent display because it was OLED.
But the games
And,
didn't look amazing in comparison.
right,
Like there was a clear
right.
difference. But that's the difference when you get to things like Red Matter 2, Assassin's Creed. We're blurring the lines a little bit more. And I think Brad put it a really good way earlier when he was talking about basically low-end PC VR graphics. And that's exactly what a developer told me like 4 or 5 months before the Quest 3 was in my hands. He was like, this is what the developers are saying. This is like a significant upgrade. And that's where I worried so much about PSVR 2, but that's where it leans so much into software. That's where the software means so much. And luckily that thing has got eye tracking and headset haptics and adaptive triggers, because those things are going to make, and like Synapse, even though I've said it loads of times, I've got issues with the game in general. It's such a great demonstration of how fantastic that headset can be. So,
Can I mention something? My little opinion piece here about it. So like, as I said at the beginning, Assassin's Creed on Quest 3, or at least Quest 3, runs constantly reprojected. And while I don't prefer that compared to native, the amount of quality that Quest 3's reprojection is compared to what PSVR 2 was, at least when I last tried it, is so indicative of how much I think Meta cares about the end user, when it comes to a VR experience, than Sony does currently. So I really think Sony, if they actually do want a product like PSVR 2 to succeed, they need to do more efforts like that, instead of just like throw out hardware with a few titles and apparently commercials that show off worse titles.
Yeah, you know. Thank you to Parasite Green for a £5 donation. Can I just say, though, right now, VR rules in comparison to where we were a year ago, which is very true.
Yes. That's 1,000% true. It was bleak.
It was bleak, dude. He's put, so right now, I am eating good. And yeah, we all are. Like, I'm having a fantastic time gaming at the moment.
Yeah, there's a game for everyone right now. Like if
there's
you
a headset
have nothing
for everyone.
to play, there's a headset for everyone. There's a game for everyone. Like this is such a good time to be in VR. You know, like whatever your genre, whatever your preferences, you want to be wireless, you want to have high fidelity, you want to play on your console, you want to play on your PC. Like so much to do, so many great titles. It's a great time to be involved.
Yep, agreed. So on the release list then, Asgard's Wrath 2, are you guys hyped for this? Are you excited about it? Or are you not really excited about it? I mean, how you feeling?
I'm more hyped now after Assassin's Creed. I'm more hyped for Asgard's Wrath 2 because I know it's been in development for as long or longer, and I see now what standalone is capable of, and it might not be as big of a step back from the original, PC Asgard's Wrath as a lot of people thought that it was going to be. Of course, it's not going to be on that level. Of course, it can't be, but that's in terms of graphics. I think the game itself is going to be a better game than the original Asgard's. I think it's going to be a bigger game. I think it's going to be a much deeper game in terms of variety of levels, variety of gameplay. I'm extremely hyped for that game. Yes.
I think it's going to blow us away. I think I have a lot of faith in what they're doing. And, you know, from what I've heard, the depth in this game and what it's going to be able to do is going to absolutely blow us away. And it's going to look beautiful. I have a lot of faith in it. I have hope. I have a lot of hope, I should say, and a lot of faith in the developer. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this game.
They're spending the money to market it too. They put that
I
shit
was
on
just
the
gonna
Sphere.
say, yeah.
On the Sphere in Vegas. They fucking bought a commercial spot on that thing. Like,
How much
that's
do you
pretty
think that
sick.
cost? How much do you
Oh
think?
my god.
Crazy.
I don't know, 75 grand. It's like,
Oh,
That's
No,
in
it's-
I think it's
pounds.
way
That's
more
in
than that.
pounds. That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
you know,
that's
that's
expensive.
just guessing. I have no fucking
Yep.
clue. I can't even imagine how you price something like that.
No, that'd be
But-
crazy, dude.
Prices in the world of enterprise, man. Like, I remember finding out how much it cost to get Wi-Fi at CES. And it
Just
blew
Wi-Fi.
me away.
yeah.
Like, it's a staggering number. Like,
Crazy.
I was like 60K or something like that. Like, just like ridiculously huge amount.
Wow. Wow. So yeah, going back to what Alex was saying about the mixed reality stuff. We've got Lego Brick Tales coming. I don't know if any of you guys are into Lego or you're a fan of
Yo,
Lego.
Oh, I'm interested in that just because of the mixed reality. When's that come? Is that the second week December?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Do we know?
Nice.
Does that have any multiplayer in it?
That I don't know. I'd have to look that
I don't
up.
think so. I think it's a single player puzzle game.
Okay, I really want to play that one with my kid.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I used to love the Lego games. I actually really enjoy real Lego now. Like when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I used to have, like before they used to design this stuff, it was just a box of Lego, and you used to make fucking spaceships and cars and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, or guns, whatever you wanted to make. There was nothing predetermined about it. And then the games come out, and I remember getting into games like Star Wars, Batman, and a few others. But yeah, like I've had a little go on this game, and the visuals are fantastic. Like it looks so crisp, and again, when we talk about mixed reality, even though the pass-through quality has still got that grain, it's not that you're focusing on. It's focusing on the Lego table with everything going on, the little things moving around, and suddenly it blends together to make a more realistic image, I guess.
Right, and then for what it's worth, the last few times that I've used the mixed reality, the grain hasn't been as noticeable. And I don't know if I'm just getting used to it or if the lighting situation has been different. But the last few times I've looked it through the pass-through, it's impressed me. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, that actually looks pretty good.
And it'll
Nice.
get better too, because even the Pro got better over time. Like I remember when the Pro first launched, it was not good, and it did get better with updates. So I think we'll see some better pass through with the Quest 3 as we go.
I'm kind of like Alex on this game as far as what he said about Demio, or was it Demio or whatever game, as far as I'd rather have the full immersion. I don't maybe it wasn't Demio, but I don't
is.
is it Demio? Yeah, I want to look at the full immersion. I don't need to see my room for Legos. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's cool that you can do that. I just think that I would imagine I would have a better experience just being blocked out 100%, looking at what's going on. Then I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't
I
tried
agree
it.
with you.
You're not wrong, because it's a situational thing, right? So if you had kids running around pulling at your legs that you were trying not to deck in the face as you were playing a game, your stance might be a little different. But you don't. You want to be in full immersion. It's virtual reality. But that's why the Quest 3 offers so much, because
True.
people are diverse, right? There's so much happening in everyone's lives, and everyone has different situations and different heads and different stuff they have to deal with. So I mean, this is why it's great that you can do MR, you can do VR, you can, like, and a lot of games have options for both. So I think it's awesome.
Very good
And
point.
it bears repeating for me, but the MR for new users is
Yeah.
huge, dude.
It
is
Like
massive.
being able to put somebody into an MR experience and they can still see you as you're
True.
like talking to them and explaining stuff. Like, dude, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'd never thought it would be me saying that, but MR is a big deal, even though it's not for me. Like I don't have kids running around. Like I'm full dive, you know, but have been a handful of times where I've like done some first time VR stuff on my Quest 3. And I'm like, all right, so you still see me here, right? And they're like, yep, what's up? You know, like still fully connected and not like, whoa, where the hell am I right now? You know, so huge deal.
This is
Right.
the very, very bottom of MR, right? MR is going to get more and more important to the point where it has so much potential to do so many amazing things to help people in everyday life, to having really, really cool gaming experiences. So I think this is just the very, very beginning, the tip of the iceberg. And
Yeah.
it's just going to get way more amazing over the next 20 years.
Yeah, and it'd be on every platform. It'd be a standard
Yeah.
eventually. It'd just be a normal thing. Some Statica says, did you, and we're going back to some marketing. We were talking about some marketing earlier, like the Sphere. He said, did you see the Saints and Sinners Haunted House? I think
No.
they also done Ghostbusters and Saints and Sinners as like a haunted experience that you could visit.
Is a haunted house in there?
There was one in London. I'm pretty sure it was in London.
Oh, in real life.
I was on
Hmm.
holiday when it happened and I couldn't go. But yeah, again, it's meta putting money behind games, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, if they're marketing Ghostbusters, both platforms grow from that, so that's fine.
That's true.
Donation from Douglas K. I know people think we're shitting on PSVR 2.
Yeah, I know.
It's such a shame. I think people get us wrong, but for all the shitting on PSVR 2, when you look at Game of the Year candidates, which headsets are they on? I just want to say,
That's true.
It is
a can of
true.
worms
It is a
comment.
can of worms as well.
Both of my games of the year are on the Quest.
So
Yeah, but
listen,
so-
And neither of them are on the PSVR. So
when you're talking about most people, overall, when you're talking about Game of the Year candidates, half or more of them are from PSVR 2. That's true. It's also
Yeah.
true that they're all from well over 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And nobody up here's trying to shit on PSVR 2, like except for maybe Brad. Brad hates it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brad
he
sold
hates
it.
it.
Brad sold it. You got to remember, we've all got a PSVR 2. We have for them. We have them.
But I think we all said that we still have faith in it and that the games are coming.
Yep.
I think we all said that it is much more capable than even the Quest 3. We said that multiple times. We're expressing our frustration with the back end of the year not having any big budget titles coming. We're expressing our frustration with Sony not showing us what's coming. We're expressing our frustration with the marketing of
Yeah.
PSVR 2.
Yeah, and the frustration and the
Mm.
frustrations of owning something that's given us some great stuff to do, and now we're looking for reasons to use it more. That's my frustration.
Well, it's a value it's a value problem. There's an issue in the value of the headset when those things aren't happening. Like if those things happened, then we could have a higher value for a $600 accessory. You know, literally costs more than the console itself. But when you spend that kind of money, like mine now is like my PlayStation VR 2 is a Gran Turismo machine. Period.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
how
well-
many trips to an arcade do I pay for to get up to my investment to do that at my crib now? Like a lot, you know. I think unless you're playing that shit every day, the value starts to like nosedive when you don't have all of this like where are the games, where's the marketing, like where's the community, where's all this stuff. So you know, it's makes it hard to recommend.
It's an investment
point
down
taken.
the road.
Yeah.
Like Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village, these might be the best VR games ever made. They might be the best VR games ever made. And for what it's worth, I think Resident Evil 4 is going to be even better than Resident Evil 8. So
agree.
looking forward to that.
crazy.
But yeah, that's not what we were talking about. That you're mistaking you're hearing us criticizing Sony and taking it as a criticism of the system and the quality of experience that it can provide, and that's not what we're
I think the other thing is
100% it's Sony. That's who we're pissed off as. We don't care. I love the headset and I love a lot of the games we play. I'm pissed off at Sony. I just want more from Sony because we all want the headset to be super popular because we want to see it do well. So we're not shitting on the headset. Like I mean, there are issues with the headset, but I mean, majority of people really like the headset, and I think it's, you know, it's one of the best experiences I've had this year on a headset, but I want to see what the upper management of Sony have fucked this up so badly that it makes us have to criticize it. That's what's unfortunate. Like, we wanted them to hit a home run and they hit like a double, or maybe even less. Maybe they hit a single.
Dude,
And
I
it
thought
should've been a home
VR.
run.
I thought VR was going to go to the moon in like February, March. Like,
too, bro.
I was like,
Yeah.
And we probably, you could probably watch one of these older episodes when it come about. I think we thought, dude, this is only upwards for everything, and I think that's where people get it wrong. We don't want to see it fail. We're frustrated because we want to see it do well. That's the difference. It's a complete paradigm shift of what you think we're saying. We're annoyed because it's not doing as well as it could do, or it
Right.
should be.
It's frustration. It's exactly 100% frustration. you
Yeah,
know?
we won't be. That's the thing. Also, we're multi-platform. That's why it's called the VR CruCast. We're not a PSVR channel. We're a VR group. So we love all headsets, and we want them all to succeed if possible. Even Pico, bless him, who anytime I do a community poll, rarely gets even a 1% vote. I'm like, what? And it's so, the Pico 4 is actually a really good headset. So it's a real shame that.
Yeah.
I
It's a
I
good
just picked up another
PCVR
new headset.
right?
I just picked up another one. I got a G2. I'm going to check it out, man.
Nice.
G2 is
back to
actually
it.
very.
Yeah.
I've got issues with some of it, but the visuals were great.
I've done demos with them, but I've never had one like for extended use. And Wes really loves it, and
Wes lives in his. I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited. I mean, even though it's older hardware, it's like I'm excited to get in and see what the G2 can bring. I mean, again, I think all of us love all kinds of different headsets, and then Pico's a good headset too. I wish that one was supported more.
I
too.
love DisplayPort is what I want.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Brad. What's the deal with the Deckard? Everybody says it's dead. It's not. We're 5 million years away from it. It's never happening. And I don't. That's I'm holding out for. I'm holding out for a DisplayPort headset for my next headset, unless it takes so long and Quest 4 comes out and my Pro is starting to become outdated. I just don't have any interest in getting a mixed reality headset for my PC VR headset. I want an actual DisplayPort.
Well, I don't have much, but Valve just said they're still working on VR recently on the Steam Deck OLED stuff. That's all we got officially.
So it doesn't seem like it's going to be soon. It seems like it's going to still be a little while just from their tone. But that could be Poker Face. Like
True.
they are having their Steam VR Fest next week or the week after.
Oh,
which is a bit-
I love Steam. I love
bit odd.
them. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would love it.
I love that.
I wanted to mention because I want to talk one more thing about like games like Demio Battles not selling well on the Steam store. Yeah, it's obvious VR games don't sell in the Steam store, but a game like Demio Battles or Demio even, I think if you're going to release on a platform like Steam, you should be focusing on making it a Steam VR overlay, because the mass majority of people who still use VR on the Steam platform are in platforms like VRChat, where it's not really a game to these people. It's an actual way that they spend most of their day. It's like going to a bar or a club, and if you can pop out a Demio Battles board while they're in VRChat and play head-to-head with their friends because it acts as an overlay,
That's
you should
cool.
be doing that.
That's
Every
pretty cool.
single
Yeah.
thing that is releasing as a mixed reality experience on Quest can totally be a Steam VR overlay on Steam VR, because eventually when there is a Deckard, guess what? Every overlay that you run on top of VR games, you click the room view button, it automatically becomes a mixed reality game. So yeah,
That sounds sick.
Does
Yeah,
sound very
It
good, Joe.
does.
Yeah.
because that's the thing. You need maybe not on Quest these days, because Quest, it's kind of like there's not enough compute, right? There's not enough compute to run multiple applications at once, or really even render amazing environments in some of these games, right? Not like I'm talking about mixed reality stuff, right? But the power of the PC, you can run VR chat and something like Demio Battles on top of it, and I think that's where platforms like that are going to really explode, and users will see value that mixed reality isn't just this separated thing. It's something that complements VR. You can choose between them. It's just you can't right now with what's available hardware wise. So people will see that over time, I think.
But before we move on and end the episode, there is one more thing I'd like to get your take on, Brad. I saw your tweet the other day about Quest Pro 2. and then kind of the Google Samsung. And what I kind of took from it is that it may be a little bit longer before consumer VR gets to the micro OLED era. Is that kind of the drive of what you were trying to say with that?
Yeah. So there's differing reports on it, but some people are saying Quest Pro 2 or whatever is the next high-end Quest Pro will have micro OLED, and some say it will not. Samsung is definitely going to have micro OLED, like that's a definite thing at this point. However, that's not coming out until like late 2024, late next year, and that'll be very high price. Yeah, you're not going to see it in like a Quest 4 for sure. It's just how people see the word consumer, right? Consumer.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
We did get another donation as well from Social Destruct for $5. Thank you ever so much. Can't wait for Ultra Wings 2 on PSVR 2 with the enhanced visuals, hype for HOTAS support and multiplayer at launch. Yeah, multiplayer would be sweet in that game. That's actually a really fun game. It was like Pilot Wings, wasn't it? For VR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really cool game for sure.
Very
You know
cool
what else is
game.
a cool game is ePilot 007 asked if anyone's played the new Richie's Plank experience level, which I gotta say on the Quest 3 is super rad, man. When you're in your living room and the elevator, Richie's Plank elevator is in your living room, and you step in and the doors close and it opens up and you're not in your living room anymore. You're now standing on a plank that's like hanging over like a canyon, almost like the Grand Canyon, which for me, I love when they do stuff that looks like it's in like Arizona, right? Because I feel like it's like so much more
You're
immersive
home.
for me personally, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm here. This is kind of the stuff I see, right? So I thought the new Richie's Plank stuff was awesome.
That's very cool. Yeah, I did see a little trailer for it. I haven't actually tried it yet. That'd be good. But yeah, I think that is a great place to end the show as we are coming up to 2 hours. Thank you ever so much for everyone being here. Really appreciate it. All the donations, all the comments, all of you guys getting involved. Please know that everything we say is from a place of love. Okay. And we don't sugarcoat stuff on here too much.
Except micro stutters. Except micro stutters.
Yeah, why are you guys trying to cover up all the micro stutter problems?
Yeah.
Well, really
Garbage.
though,
Game's garbage.
we're in it. Like we are like every day, all day thinking about VR, connected
Yes.
to this stuff. Like it is like these perspectives are coming from like people who are living and breathing this shit.
Yeah,
every single
literally
day.
constantly hours. Like
Yeah.
very rarely is there an hour that goes by in the day that I'm not thinking about VR or being
Yeah.
communicated with or to about VR.
Yeah, so these are nuanced perspectives that we're sharing on this show, and you know, if you're here with us, you probably have a nuanced perspective on VR as well. So, and that's what I love about the show is that we are all able to, not just us, not just the 7 of us on the screen, but everybody in chat too. Everyone is able to provide their perspective.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't even want to say opinion because it's more perspective than anything else. And if everyone's doing that, it's just going to help push VR forward and help us get to where we're trying to go. Like, you know, whenever Assassin's Creed hears this, which I don't know if they will, but like when developers hear these kinds of things, it gives them fuel, it gives them opportunities to go and like take stuff and change it. And maybe they won't like Firewall, or maybe they will. And anyway, it's all for the good of VR, all of this.
Yeah, even being like, even criticizing stuff is something you have to do. You just have to do it sometimes, you know. When I love a game and I'm reviewing it, I try and constructively criticize it because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but they're criticisms that have to be pointed out. And it's no different to a headset. It's no different to the state of the market. It's no different to the lack of software or anything. You know, we've got to tell our truths of it. Admittedly, a lot of us have been in the space for a long time. So there is that part of it. You know, I think there's a raw energy from someone who's new in the space. It's true.
I have one rule. Say what you see. That's it. Period. Don't play console wars. Don't play favorites. Don't sugarcoat. Don't try to hype. Just say what you see. Get in the game and say what you see.
I'm gonna say that Wes looks about 12 years old today. So
He's so young.
he's had a shave.
Oh my God. He's going backwards. Like freaking
Dude.
Benjamin Button.
Guys, guess how old Wes is for me in the
88.
chat.
24.
Guess I would go looking at him.
16.
I would go 25, 26. And he is
I love
gonna
you guys.
he's gonna reveal his age in a minute, and I think he's gonna be a shocker. He's even got a shiny cheek. Can you see his shiny cheek?
Okay. Let's before we get that get the number, let's do the same for Mash. I say 72.
Because it is Mash's
No, just
birthday. By the way,
Oh, it is
hap-
Mash's
It
Happy
is.
birthday to Mash. Everybody in the
guys.
chat right
You
now.
actually look young, Mash.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You
man.
32.
don't have to agree with what he says, but you do have to.
Oh no,
love
you
him.
fuckers need to agree with what I say. You're not gonna buy me off with a birthday wish. Let's go.
Nice. Oh, Stefan knows how old you are, dude. He's giving it away.
Oh no.
Yeah, Artful said you look 49 years old, Wes. Diz says Diz Trucks is 35. Vince Virtuous is 37. Guys, what the hell? If he looks 37, I must look about fucking 60. Like, he looks so young. But anyway, how old are
Nash,
you?
or Wes is way older than you think.
How old are
like,
you, Wes?
I'm 45. I'm 45 years
He's
old.
older than me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
Dude.
GT, you look like you're like 40. I'd say a healthy, like just turned 40.
I appreciate that, Roots. Thank you ever so much. I've had a very difficult life, to be honest. So I'm pleased, you know. I'm pleased it's there. That's good. I'll take it. If you look your age, that's got to be a good thing.
Yes.
It's got to be a good thing. But yeah, thank you ever so much for joining us, guys. Really appreciate all your time. Thank you to the boys for being here for this week's episode. It's always good. Are we keeping it up? Are we keeping
Yeah,
this up?
Monday. All right, that's the day we do the
Yes.
damn show.
Mo-
Monday.
Mondays.
That's it.
Well, that's the
And
day
there's-
that I take off of work early. So if we don't do the show, I just come off and home and sit here.
Excellent. Guys, I will see you all next Monday. Thank you ever so much, everyone in the chat. Take
Thank
care.
you for the birthday wishes. Thank you.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Mash. Have you had a birthday cake?
No birthday cake.
Why? You like keto or something?
No, we just haven't done it.
Well, go and get yourself a birthday cake.
I'm spending my birthday with you guys. I
Have
love
you
It
got
says micro stutter on it.
Have you got any balloons?
no balloons. Yeah, we spent the day in Disney World.
I'm gonna message Mrs. Mash and wonder what the hell's going on. Right.
Yeah, right.
Later. See you later, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Later, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.